Black Jesus. This episode is called Rainbow Jesus, but not necessarily gay Jesus. But there was an episode overnight on Black Jesus. But it's a program, investigating, revisiting Black Jesus. Okay, the BBC rolls around and around and around, revisiting the same topics year after year, decade after decade, as they should. Not to come to any conclusion, but just to keep asking the same questions and then forgetting the answers in order to ask the same questions again. I've got some little birds here come to visit me in my shed. So Black Jesus revisited, and I mentioned it to someone that I'd just heard the latest episode on Black Jesus, and then the reaction, understandably, was, "Oh God, not that again." But you have that reaction only if it matters to you. But if it doesn't matter to you, and for the purposes of these YouTube clips, nothing matters to me, which sounds like I'm insensitive and cruel. I've been discussing wars and all sorts of things, but in different tones. But it doesn't mean I'm indifferent in my real life. It just means I'm discussing these things in an indifferent tone for the purposes of this. For the purposes of this YouTube thingy. Whatever you say online doesn't necessarily reflect what you actually think, surely. But you can still get wiped out by it, and lose your job. Even if you're discussing points of view that are not even your own. Anyway, roll with it. I roll with it. Okay, so Black Jesus. Look, the episode. The BBC doesn't care whether there were. Look, we don't even know if Jesus existed. It's putting the cart before the horse a little, to talk about what colour he was. In the end, things like whether he existed and what colour he might have been, they become theological truths. You develop theologies. You develop theologies on what colour Jesus was, for example, and whether he was gay or not as well. While you're at it, and in the end, you have a whole series of theologies, and you pick the one that's right for you. That's my take on the way Jesus works, and I can't see the problem with that. So there's no problem with discussing Black Jesus. And then next week maybe the BBC will discuss white Jesus, and then Asian Jesus later. It's possible. Maybe Mary was Indian. Came across on a donkey all the way from over there. Little Jewish community over there. So it doesn't matter if it's unlikely; it can still be theologically true. Doesn't matter if it's impossible; it still can be theologically true. So I propose that look, if you have an emotional reaction to a debate like Black Jesus, well, then I think you're sitting here. You're in the bubble, in the context. You've already decided Jesus exists, haven't you? And and it matters to you politically or something. But if you're sitting way down here like me, you thought I was going to say way up here, didn't you? Then it really doesn't matter. Rainbow Jesus. I'm happy to entertain any Jesus. And by rainbow Jesus, I don't mean gay Jesus, I mean, he could be black, brown, yellow, red, purple. Look, he's God. He could be kind of transparent, couldn't he? Transparent Jesus, There's a good title for the episode, right? Transparent Jesus. When I close my eyes and pray at night, Jesus is transparent. Like Wonder Woman's plane. You know that one? Jesus is transparent, but he's got no Wonder Woman inside him. So transparent Jesus is my Jesus. But you can have a white Jesus, you can have a Black Jesus, you can have an Asian Jesus. You can have an Indigenous Australian Jesus. There's nothing wrong with that. It's possible. Theological.